Howdy folks, Mighty Jingles here once again with my World of Tanks replays. Today we are in the German Tier 8 tank destroyer, the Ferdinand. Designed and built on the chassis of the Tiger P, which lost out on the contract to Henschel for development of the Tiger. Old Ferdinand Porsche ended up with a whole bunch of Tiger P chassis and decided he wasn't going to put them to waste, so he slapped a casement on the top, a dirty great big gun, and called it a Ferdinand tank destroyer. Also known as the Elephant, which I believe is the official designation, but we call it the Ferdinand. Anyway, here it is. First of all, I'd just like to say to all my viewers and subscribers, you guys seriously have absolutely no idea what I've had to suffer through today to try to get a decent replay to show you on this thing. The teams of mouth-breathing, window-licking morons the matchmaker has thrust me into have just sapped my will to live today, but I stuck it out just for you guys, and I finally got a decent replay, which we'll skip to once we've gone over the stats. So, Ferdinand, here it is. Well, what's good about it? What's bad about it? Okay, well, we'll get the bad stuff out of the way. Speed limit, 30 kph. It's slow. In practice, it rarely actually reaches that speed. You're probably looking at anything between 24 or 28 kph, even on level ground. Going up hills, this thing really doesn't have the engine power to get up hills. I mean, it's a 70-ton monster. It's got an 840 horsepower engine, and it's just not good enough. Doesn't turn very quickly either. 21 degrees per second traverse speed. Not terrible, but there are better tank destroyers out there as far as traverse is concerned. What's good about it? Well, there we go. 200 millimeters of frontal hull armour. Now, this is kind of like the Jag Tiger. That 200 millimeters only really applies here, front of the casement. Gun mantle as well. Anything hits that isn't going to get through. And at tier 8, that 200 millimeters of armour, that's not bad. However, these various different armour zones here at the front, they can be penetrated by anything. Tier 8, 9 or 10. Anybody who faces a Ferdinand is going, and it's difficult to miss. I mean, look at that. That's more than half of the front of the vehicle is actually. It's not even up to Tiger P standards of armour thickness. So this is where you're going to get shot a lot when you're in the Ferdinand. If you can get hull down, you're pretty good. But it doesn't have great gun depression. So trying to find spots on the map where you can actually conceal your lower hull and still fire, difficult to do. Gun traverse is not good. It's only about, I don't know the exact figures, but it's not more than 12, 15 degrees either side. This is no Marder. But the gun itself, well, it does have a great selection of guns. It starts off with the long 88mm Pak 43 L71 that the Tiger gets, which is a good gun. It's very cheap to fire. The ammunition for that thing is... I don't know the actual cost, but... when you go 105 or 128mm, the ammunition starts, it's like, boom, we just missed him. Yeah, well, that just cost you 1,000 credits. So you do find people still use the 88mm gun if they're trying to just use this as a money maker. I wouldn't recommend it because the kind of games this thing gets thrown into, if you want to make money, you have to damage enemy tanks. And if you want to damage enemy tanks, this is the beast you want to be using. The 128mm Pak 44 L55. This is a great gun. 246mm of penetration. That's pretty sweet for a tier 8 tank destroyer. 490 damage. It's reasonably accurate, although as you're going to see in the replay, sometimes the shot dispersion, you're aimed right in, you fire, and you see this all just fly off to one of the corners of the aiming circle. And yeah, aiming time is pretty good though. And the rate of fire is kind of slow, 5 rounds per minute. But the other choice of gun, which a lot of people do go for, because if we just run them side by side, is the 105mm gun, which is slightly cheaper to use, better rate of fire, penetration is not as good, damage isn't as good, accuracy slightly better, but no real difference. But the aiming time, and people tend to use this gun if they're using the Ferdinand very aggressively, because that aiming time really matters if you're poking your nose around a corner trying to get a shot off on somebody before you back away again. Personal preference, go for the 128mm. It just penetrates more reliably, is just as accurate, and it does a whopping load more damage. So that is pretty much it for the tank itself. Let's have a look at the replay. So here it is, the only Ferdinand game I played today out of 12 games that was actually worth recording. And as you can see, it's a tier 10 game. It's a very hostile environment in which to be a tier 10 tank destroyer. Tier 10? I wish. To be a tier 8 tank destroyer. Having a look at the teams, we've got an ISU 152 over there. He has the BL10 gun, which is nice. It's pretty much a heavy tank fight. 2 artillery, both of them very dangerous, not too much, we can live with that. They've got the edge in the tank destroyers though. A Yak Tiger and an Object 704 and another Ferdinand. That Object 704 will have the BL10 gun, very, very dangerous opponent. The Yak Tiger, well, we've already seen how nasty the 128mm L64 is. So I'm going to need to play this one very cautiously indeed. So, Fishing Bay is the map, and let's see what happens. Speed things up a little, because jockeying for position gets kind of boring. And this is the first decent team I've had all day, and not just in the Ferdinand, in any tank. It's just been one of those days. So, we're in position. And now we wait. Now we've got a T-34 gone off ahead, and he's really gone too far ahead. And it looks like the E75 is going to support him there, but it turns out he doesn't. So I'm trying to tell these guys here, come on, get moving. Tiger and a 229 camping here with me. Well, fair enough, they're only tier 7s. So I go up to support the E75 and the T-34, and oh!
They're hit!
Hell's bells, let's get back, let's get back, let's get back. Hopefully that Yak Tiger doesn't know I'm here. I might be safely out of his view range.
Enemy is hit.
T-29, we could definitely unload a world of hurt onto him. Arnie just hits him.
Enemy is hit.
This really is a good gun. But it has its moments. And, yep, somebody else kills him. I'd love to know where that Yak Tiger is. Because he will be shooting at me as a priority as well. Guaranteed. Because, well, I'm probably the only one he can hit. And we're managing to penetrate this IS-7, not doing any damage.
That one didn't go through.
You see that shot just sailed off to the outside of the aiming circle. 0.35 accuracy, my ass.
They're hit.
Well, I'm keeping this IS-7 tracked, if nothing. There's the Yak Tiger. And come on. Whoa, that one actually bounced off my gun mantle.
We've lost the track.
And then off he hits me. For 1,000 damage. Well, I can't move because I've been tracked. And I'm saving my repair kit. So let's keep putting shots into this IS-7.
We fixed the track. Let's roll.
Here we go. Back up a little. Chances are I'm just inside their view range, but only the IS-7 is the one is able to spot me. So if I move back,
they're hit.
101 damage. Seriously? Is that all I did? Oh, he's aiming at me. Get out of here. Kill him, kill him, kill him.
Looks like that one went right through.
That was lucky. The team killed him before he could get a second shot off. Because if he hits and damages with that gun on the IS-7, I only have 263 health left. I'm doomed. So, we're doing alright. We're winning 5-2. So we really need to push this flank. And jeez, Artie again. I mean, seriously. Look at all these targets. Who's Artie firing at? The tier 8. Ugh. I swear I'm such an artillery magnet. Well, I figure at this point that these guys, God, look at them. Right, they can manage this flank on their own. So I'm going to go over here and try to support the heavies in the town and hold off. You can't see it on the minimap, but almost all of their team is in the town. And those two heavies that we've got there, they're not going to hold out forever. I mean, two badly damaged IS-7s and IS-4s. Our patterns just died. These guys need help. So let's go. Look at that. That's half the enemy team. And that IS-7's only on 7%, so I mean this Jagdpanther are coming over here to fight the lane action. Well, we'll probably die, but if it helps the team win... Object 704. Oh, come on. Yes. And this is why sometimes they reload on the 128mm gun, 5 rounds a minute. It's just not good enough. Come on. I find myself rocking backwards and forwards in my seat trying to make this thing load faster. And there's the lousy gun traverse on the Ferdinand. Okay, we've got the objects. Tiger. Okay, and an IS. Right. I've killed the Jagdpanther. I'm now the only one holding this flank. All I need to do is delay them, but it's only going to take one hit, and I'm a dead man.
Penetration.
Oh God, a mouse.
The radio man is bleeding. We can't rely on him.
Oh, right, that should have killed me.
Penetration.
Let's get another shot off. There we go.
Get out.
Okay. Now we need to cap. We really, really need to cap. Speed things up slightly. And I'm yelling in chat. Cap! And here we go. Right, now get in the cap circle. Come on, guys. It's not rocket science. Don't worry about the artillery. He was just firing at your last known position. You've killed the Ferdinand who was spotting you. Get in the cap circle. And look at this KV-1S. Look at this coming. What's he doing? For those of you who are unaware of how the exact mechanics of capping work, every tank who's in the cap circle increases the speed at which the cap counter moves up to a maximum of 4 tanks. Look at this retard. What's he doing hiding over there? There's only 3 enemy tanks left. 2 of them are artillery. Come on. You see, that would have been a win already if that KV-1S was in the cap circle. But we pull it off anyway. No thanks to that moron. So, right, yeah. How did we do? Personal achievements. 15 shots fired, 14 hit the target. Not bad. 1100 XP, 42,000 credits. Repairs and ammo costs, yeah, that more than covers it. And, don't forget, it's a tier 10 game. And there we go, Confederate. Which I always value higher than getting Top Gun. Because it basically means you've just damaged everybody. So yeah, Ferdinand. You tend to be at the mercy of the matchmaker a lot, and I find it worse in the Ferdinand than in, for example, the Russian Tier 8 tank destroyer, the ISU-152, because once you've unlocked the BL-10 gun on that, it's basically an Object 704. That gun is absolutely devastating. The Ferdinand's guns are not bad. They're not bad. They're pretty. The 128mm is a good gun. It's no BL-10. And you tend to find when you get into games like this, I mean, that's about the best you could expect to do with a Ferdy. If I had been on an ISU, it's faster. It's got a better gun. I could have probably done better in the same circumstances. It's just I find it a better tank. It's more stealthy. It's faster. The gun's better. It doesn't have any armour, but it's got that stealth factor. And you tend to find that whatever you point that gun at, it just gets vaporised. Whereas the Ferdy doesn't quite have the amount of punch. But it's not a bad tank at all. And of course it leads on to the very, very nice Jagdtiger. So that was the Ferdinand Tier 8 German tank destroyer. I have been the Mighty Jingles, and I hope you enjoyed that replay. Catch you next time.